Okay, recording.
So we can start, Bobby?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we start 10 seconds.
Okay. So minta semua mute dulu, doktor.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning and very good evening to all of you. I'm Satish Kumar, and I'd like to welcome all of you to the CoQ KDOJ Expert Series, presenting the importance of bees for the sustainability of nature and the engagement with the My Bee Savior Chairman and the college principal. For information, ladies and gentlemen, this is our second event under the KDOJ Expert Series, and I would like to congratulate the organizing committee for having this virtual event done. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we have two speakers on board today, and that's Dr. Norowi Hamid, the chairman of My Bee Savior Malaysia, and Dr. Muhammad Amri Mat Yunus, who is the KDOJ principal. Now, before we move further, let us hear a little bit about our speakers today. Now, Dr. Muhammad Norowi Hamid is from Kelantan, and basically he's residing in Selangor right now. He has retired from Mardi in the year 2016, and his last position was as the Director of Agro, Biodiversity and Environmental Research Center. He has the experience of being a research officer for Mardi, and he has also represented Malaysia for the various conventions such as Convention of Biological Diversity, CGRFO, FAO, IPBES, and many more. His last assignment before his retirement was being one of the expert panel in the assessing of pollinator and pollination for food production. At present, he is also an active alumni at Sekolah Menengah Tok Janggut Pasir Puteh, Sekolah Alam Shah, University Putra Malaysia, Iowa State University, Virginia Technology, University of Greenwich, London. Yeah, that's briefly about our guest of speaker today. So that's Dr. Muhammad Norowi Hamid, the chairman of My Bee Savior Malaysia. Now moving on to the college principal, College Jafar's principal, Dr. Muhammad Amri Mat Yunus. He has originated from Klang, Selangor, and he has received his Bachelor of Engineering degree and Master of Engineering degree in Electrical Instrumentation Engineering from University Technology Malaysia, Skudai. He has, in the year 2011, he has received his PhD degree in Environmental Sensing from Mansey University, Palmerston, North East New Zealand. He is currently a senior lecturer under the Control and Mechatronic Engineering Department, School of Electrical Engineering, University Technology Malaysia, and he has the 12 years of experience in teaching and research. To talk about his research interests, he is quite keen into sensing technology related to the development of technologies and application in Meliponidae, which is known as a Stingless Bee. Currently, he has been appointed as the principal of College Dato' On Jafar UTM for the term of 3 years, beginning 1st December 2020 until 31st November 2023. So, ladies and gentlemen, basically that's a little bit about our speakers for today. So before we move further, I would like to remind all of you that should you have any questions throughout the session, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. And please also fill up the attendance given through the comment section. We have shared our questionnaire, so just feel free to answer and make sure you complete that so that you'll be entitled for e-certificate later on. Yeah. Now, let us move on to the most important part of today's event, which is now let us hear the welcoming speech and a brief presentation from our beloved KDOJ principal, Dr. Muhammad Amri bin Mat Yunus. Without further ado, please welcome, sir.
thank you, Mr. Satish, for a warm welcome and introduction. So actually, it is an honor to have our main speaker and our main guest, Dr. Muhammad Norawi Hamid, for joining us tonight. So basically, I before this just know the main speaker reputation as a senior and respected scientist, and also the fact that he is the current chairman of My Bee Savior Association. So before I hand over back the session to Dr. Norawi, I would like to give a brief the presentation about our college and the reason why we have an event tonight, and what is the way forward after this event. So basically, KDOJ or College Dato on Jaffa is one of the 10 colleges in UTM, and we can accommodate more than around 1,000 students at full capacity. And currently, because of the pandemic, many students are leaving or going back to their hometown and countries. So basically, we have now around 300 students. So our college is basically mainly postgraduate students, and we also have we are also providing extra amenities like gymnasium, proper cooking station, and etc. So to run the colleges, okay, we have our office team, and also we have our fellowship and residential college council. So we conduct activities such as today to basically to fulfill the non-academic activities, and also our main responsibility is to take care of the student welfare. So about myself, I think I skip because Mr. Satish has already introduced myself. So these are the fellowship and assistant fellow. Basically, they are the main advisor of the program, okay, and also the people who work behind the scene, or directly to help to organize and give opinion and also advise students, and also regarding the welfare. And also we have residential college council. So actually the MC is the president of our RCC. So currently we have 8 members. So if any KDOJ student listening or watching, so basically we are enrolling or recruiting new members. So if you are interested, please contact the office. So these are basically the organization chart of our RCC. Okay, and we have our president. Okay, we have our secretary, vice president, and also our team members. So the reason why we have an activity with My Bee Savior is because we actually have had many events which My Bee Savior help us to relocate wild honeybee, okay, safely from the college. So because our location is strategically beside the green reserve of University Technology Malaysia, so from time to time there are bee colony coming to our college, and then we ask My Bee Saver to help us to safely relocate the bee honeybee away from the students and from our buildings. And also, actually, we have the intention to form a My Bee Savior Club University chapter. So this is one of the initiative to start the formation of the club. And besides the activity like webinar, we also actually we wish that when the pandemic is over, we are going to organize many activities regarding the uh, beekeeping, or for example, or bee education, and also things that related to the conservation or sustainability of the nature. So what we can actually offer, okay, as the RCC or the committee of KDOJ for the members of my Bee Saver of the public, basically we can assist in to provide or run workshop. This is actually pictures of a workshop we provide to Nigerian students. Okay, so we give them a workshop and introduction. This is actually under request by the International Student Society of Nigeria. So we gave them uh, training based on modules and also practical activities. As you can see from the pictures, okay, we gave them the hands-on experience how to harvest stingless bee honey from the hive. Okay, this is one of the activities. And also, Mr. Shatis explained that my field is on the research on stingless bee. So, to date, we have developed an electronic pollinator advanced system that which can help to manage the information of stingless bee hive. And not only that, it also can be expanded to honeybee and such. So currently, this app can be subscribed in Google Play. So as maybe if you are become a member of My Bee Savior, so we can help give you access support to the apps, and also hands-on training, and also data management. And furthermore, on top of that, I also developed a honey dehydrator system. So that is one challenges in stingless bee honey. So I would not to explain in details about this issue. Just want to share that we also developed the system, and we are welcoming any parts or community or any industry or collaborator want to collaborate with us to develop or to set up a machine for you. And then we also have a post-harvest technology. We set up a marketplace basically for stingless bee and also honeybee. Also beyond that, like people who have cosmetic products, okay, they have gears, and they can post their item in our marketplace, and then it's basically free. Okay, and then this platform is called MyTradeBee, www.mytrade.com. And also we created a directory, MyTradeBee trade directory. So the basically people who have interesting place, okay, like business or shop location, and also like homestay. Okay, they can place their location inside this directory so that user can easily find the premises. And also, if any community interested or wants us to assist in developing an efficient honey pump system for you, we are welcoming to have such a we are welcoming you or everyone to collaborate with us. So as a conclusion, if you have any response or feedback, please use the attendance form and find the link from the Facebook Live comment section. So I think that is all from my side. So I hand over the session to the chairperson, Mr. Satish, to proceed with the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much for the very informative speech. And I believe that's a lot has been done in your area, further venturing into this stingless bee. That's a very good one. Now, let us move on and let us welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Muhammad Nurawi Hamid, the chairman of My Bee Savior Malaysia, to share his view on the importance of bee for the sustainability of nature. Please welcome, sir.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Selamat malam and salam sejahtera. First of all, I would like to thank you to the organizer who give me the opportunity to share my view about the topics for tonight. Okay, so I will start my talks with my PowerPoint. Hopefully it works. Okay. As the title is given to me, is the importance of peace for the sustainability of nature. I think the title is a huge one because it's a nature. So this is without the nature, who are we? I mean, we are not going to anywhere. All our life is actually depend on nature. So the nature itself is a huge subject to be discussed. So more or less, I think for tonight, I just want to talk is more on the close related to the biodiversity, which is also nature. So then my presentation contents for tonight is first I try to kind of set the ground on the nature conservation, why it is important, and then move on to the importance of bee in the nature conservation. But at the same time, I try to highlight also is the issue that need to be addressed about the managing bee population and how we're going to respond to this the problem faces by the bee. And then I able to introduce my NGO, that is My Bee Savior Association, and then hopefully that is we can finish this conclusion for tonight discussion. Okay, first of all, is the nature. I think when it come out to the nature is what is come to our mind. This is of course is I think it's most of the people thinking about rainforest, or to some people it's just the wilderness. Like one tiger alone is considered is nature. I don't know that is if it's alone, I think it cannot function. So in other words, we need the interaction of various component in the nature between the living organism and the non-living organism. For example, it's water, air, soil, then this interaction actually is provides beneficial to us. So that's why I think is the important for the nature. It's not the single individual. It is a interaction between among the components within the nature system. And then I want to give further because we cannot stay, just to preserve the nature. We need to utilize it in the sustainable way or adapt it in sustainable way. This, for example, I think is secondary forest. It's not natural, but it's still functioning. So I think this is we have to get this idea because we need to utilize our nature. At the same time, we are not going to disturb the ecosystem function that provided by the nature. So again, is as I think we all agree is nature is everything to us. The supplier of food, air to breathe, or anything else through various ecosystem, such as rainforest ecosystem, water ecosystem, river, freshwater, ocean ecosystem. All this is provide benefit to us. So this is according to the Millennium ecosystem assessment. This is the ecosystem have been divided into various parts. For example, like supporting. The supporting one is, for example, in most of the example I'm going to give tonight is about the dealing to the agriculture because I'm an agriculture man. For example, nutrient cycling. This is important. How is the microbe in the soil where it can recycle the leaf to become the soil and to fertilize the crop, and also is providing the kind of the primary production such as a plant that can feed for the herbivore and then goes on to the food chain. And then next one is provision, which is provided by the ecosystem service. This is for the most important one to us, I think, is to provide the food, fresh water, wood and fiber, and so forth, fuel, and other things that is important to us provide. And then the other one is, the other group is regulating. This is, for example, climate regulation. You know, there is if you cut so many trees, then it's become hotter. And the same thing also is flood regulation. This is mangrove when it comes to the function, especially in the coastal area where is the mangrove can provide can reduce the flood incident, and also is provide the nest for the bird, fish, and so forth. So that is the importance of the ecosystem, mangrove ecosystem. Another one also is disease regulation. So this is also is another important part of the ecosystem. And for me, I put this is another one is pollination, which is going to be my topic to be discussed tonight, is pollination. Why important is pollination? It's provided by the pollinator, and the pollinator is majority is bees. So the next one is, this is the important one also is cultural, for the aesthetic, for the spiritual. I'm going to give example for tonight's spiritual in terms of religious. For example, in Islam, it provides how we to understand some of the verses in the Quran. For example, there is two verses in the Surah An-Nahl ataupun is the surah or the topic about bees, which is so that is important. Without the nature or without the bees, then we cannot understand the ayah or the verses. This one. So I will talk later on. And also educational purpose. This is where we can learn. For example, how to clean the nest. How bees clean its nest very nicely. Even during the hot day, it's okay. This is just we can learn from them how to cool is our house or our office or whatever, so that this we can use design into of our place to live, or also is how to make it to use, like for example, is to vibrate the wing of the bees. And then, if you look the video, how is the temperature can be raised inside the nest by the vibration of the bees wing. For example, they can, in fact, if you look the documentary film, how the bees fighting the hornets, they can, I mean, in terms of the size, they cannot match, but they can use it by increase the temperature, and then the hornet is killed or was killed. So this is also is source of educational for us to learn how to learn from this, how to raise or decrease the temperature. And then of course now is become the important part is the recreational value. This is for example is homestay or whatever now is become popular because we need to have a recreational. Also is park, waterfall, and so on. So I think that is explained how is the function of the nature to us through various ecosystem services that is make we have a better place to live. So in other words, we need to conserve these ecosystem services. And then the way we want to conserve it is by conserve our nature. And then, so that is how important is the nature to us. As I said already, ecosystem is a various ecosystem. So for example, rainforest ecosystem or agricultural ecosystem or water ecosystem, water or river ecosystem, and so forth. So many things, various ecosystem that is ready to provide us with so many good and service to us. So there is come where we have food to eat from our agro ecosystem, and from the water ecosystem, we have water that we can drink or to irrigate our crop, and is provide the food to us also. And then also, of course, the rainforest and all the trees, all the green plants is provide us with free oxygen that is for us to breathe. And some of the plants can be used as a medication, such as so many herbs in our rainforest. And now is many have been utilized worldwide. Can be cured some of the important disease. For example, there is one of the species tree from the Borneo, precisely from the Sarawak, it can be used to cure the HIV. So that is how value is the nature to us. Just imagine if that is not, or if we lost, then we lost our dedication for the important disease. Happiness, I think there is, of course, That's why so many people like to go to the jungle, because that is how we live harmony with the environment, feel better in the cool area. And then, in fact, there is a study is how is the diversity. You increase the diversity in the city, make it the city is better place to live. This is many in the Europe, many city in Europe trying to design the township by including some of the green plants, because this will increase the happiness to the people, which is then is bring a better life and a better nation. Then remember, this is all these thing is actually we are borrow from our future generation. So we must keep them. We must save for them to use a later, so that we as a human can survive in the future. So the most important here again is I want to say that because we have to utilize, but we have to utilize our nature in the sustainable manner, so that we can use now, and our future generation can use it equally. Hopefully, this will be for our survival in future. So that is thing I hope that I able to address how important is nature to us. We need to conserve the nature for our survival, for our future generation, for our nation, for our universe. Everything is nature is important to us. We need to conserve it. And then now I'll go to this, how bees can help us, or how important is bees in conserving our nature. So again, as a MC introduced, I'm now is a chairman of my Bee Savior Association. So I please just introduce them for tonight, and hopefully, as Dr. Amri said, in the future we're going to have a future collaboration, hopefully for the better utilize of bees for our conservation of nature. So, excuse me. So, bees and nature conservation, bees is very important in nature conservation. And we have various kind of bees, but as an insect man, I have to say that bees actually belong to the Hymenoptera order, which is considered one of the modern order of insect taxa. So this is bees can be wild. I use this example from Malaysia. One, this is Apis dorsata or lebah tualang, which is in terms of bee size is quite big, and also in terms of colony also is very big. Produce a lot of honey, but at the moment we cannot domesticate it. On the other hand, we have I think is Dr. Amri mentioned just now is the stingless bees. The stingless bee is the one that is I mean, of course, smaller, and then it can be domesticated. It's, as I said, is stingless bee. Is not stings. Very friendly. In fact, I have my kitchen, just back outside of my kitchen, one colony, just for me to observe it, and sometimes it's just to get the honey from that. It's for the fresh consumption. And so it's to show to my grandchildren, this is the importance of insects, especially these honey groups. So the one that is stingless bee can be domesticated, as Dr. Amri said just now, and also is beside this is I want to emphasize again, because when we think about honey bee, then we think about honey, but actually there is process the honey actually is make the world or what you call is lively, can live, because this is the process of pollination. So this is like the what you call this stingless bee. You can manipulate or you can rear it, and then you can carry it anywhere. You can place it in the agriculture area where it can do also is pollination for you, as so in this picture. And then, as I say again, is the conservation of bee is very important as a Muslim. I think because it's the two ayah in the Surah An-Nahl, the bee, these two verses is describe the why, how you want to characterize bees. They have to live in the what you call some kind of Allah or God order, or create the bees to nest in the mountain, in the trees, and also is the place where created by the human. And of course, is us again to go looking for the food and bring to process and to make a honey, and then the honey is good, is a medicine for various kind of disease, and this is a good it's good for us to think about how the what you call this is the mercy of Allah to us, provide the insects that can provide the food. Not only provide the food, but provide pollination. The pollination is for conservation of the trees, which is also is then it become biodiversity, then important, it provide oxygen and so forth. So I think that is urge us to think with the bees alone is how important is bees to human life, and then also is so that's what is bees is important component for the conservation of the nature. And then next, I want to move to this about the stingless bees. I'm glad to hear that Amri has so is doing some work on this, because this is kind of my baby before my retirement, and then we have to look for the this stingless bee just in case, because there is the call from the universe that is the pollinator going to decline, so we are better prepared. So we have to look for the local pollinator or bees, and then we are lucky that we have so many species of stingless bees. And then during my time, I managed to collect 12 species. Out of that, there's only 2 species that can be domesticated for the honey. The other is still we need to do more research how to domesticate that. So, and since that, Alhamdulillah, so many is taken by the other group or the other researcher. The only thing is, my concern now is it seems to look for the honey. I think it's because the stingless bee is not produce so many honey as compared to bees. So, but I think we have, I mean, I used to challenge the food scientists to develop the premium product from the premium honey of stingless bees, because the honey of stingless bee is very higher in antioxidant compared to honey of bees. I think it's 4 to 5 times higher in antioxidant. So that is about the stingless bees. And then the stingless, this bee shown in the stingless bee is highly structured, highly organized insect. This is a good thing because there is, you can look closely in the how the structure of its hive, and then also is how clean is the hive. But they keep the hive is very clean. So this is a good insect that we have can learn in terms of hygiene. Then I say it's very organized. They have I think the composition of colony. They have queen as shown in this what you call this picture here. Here is the queen. One colony only you have one queen, and then you have workers. Workers actually is the one that who cannot become queen, then become workers. So there's actually the workers belong to the female. And then you have a drone, it's male bees. For stingless bees, is the drone is actually is produced just for the mating purpose only. Actually, at this time of the month, then you can see the drone flying around the nest during the dusk day. I mean, because actually is the mating, is the queen is outside the nest for the stingless bees, and for the drone is after the mating they cannot enter the nest anymore. So in other words, they were thrown out and then they just died. So and then the female producing the eggs, and then will be lay egg in all this what you call a shell egg, what you call in this nest, and then the workers feed the larva until it become adult. Then in terms of task also is very hierarchy. The workers is actually belong to the younger one is stay inside the nest, and the older one is stay up do the work outside. For example, is looking for the nectar, pollen, and so forth. Whereas the inside one is doing the cleaning, feeding the brood, caring for the queen. So that's why it's sometimes the food for the queen is called jelly. So the royal jelly, the one who get the brood that get the royal jelly become the queen. So then to maintain the hive, ventilating the hive, packing pollen, water, nectar, or honey into the combs, or in the just like I showed in the stingless bee just now. And also is to guard the house and the process of honey. Because, for example, if the workers one go for the foragers, when they go outside, found the nectar, they got the nectar or pollen and bring back to the nest, they pass it to the younger one who is inside the nest, and then the nest, the inside one is processing the honey and place it in the comb or in the pot, just like the stingless bees. So they are very organized insects or organism, which is I think we can learn a lot from them. And now I'm going to what call this the duty of the bees. In this case, I just put the picture of Trigona or stingless bees. Of course, is the pollinator, I think, which is very important one. And about 87.5% of all flowering wild plants depend on this on the pollinator, and majority which is bees. So in other words, the bees' duty is very important in biodiversity conservation, or you can say it's for nature conservation, because it keep the plant flowering and reproducing. Just imagine if without them. We can do the pollination, but I don't know how many of us can do the pollination or rainforestry. So the bees provide the service to us. And then this, in terms of the food crops, it's about 90% of the leading global food crop are visited by the bees. So this is important for the food provision. And of course, it's the one that is the immediate one for us is it produce honey. And then again, I said again just now, just to reiterate, that is the bee is source of knowledge, because they have a lot of cultural values to be learned from the bees. So that is the bees is very important, not only to provide the foods, honey, but also is to for the biodiversity conservation or nature conservation. Pollination services help to supply food, as I said just now, is to us. And this is this figure is showing that is how is what we call this the how many percent is plants is needs or depend on the pollination or pollinator. For example, only 7% is no effects, and 8% is of the is what you call is unknown the effect. So from the same from the I think it's 170 plant has been analyzed, whereas 12% is 90% reduction in crop production if without the pollination service by the bee or by the pollinator. So that bear in mind also is there's other insects and mammals, so is pollinator, but it's not many. It's more than 75% is belong to the bee. And 42% reduction is about 28%, and 45% is 1 to 40% reduction if the pollination or the pollinator is not there. So there is emphasize how important is the pollination process that is carried out by the bees is providing source of food to us. So, and I just want to emphasize again, as I said, is if we're talking about honey from the bees, is about this figure is from 2015. I think it's about 10 billion USD is honey, the market of honey in the world. Whereas the ecosystem services right through the pollination or through the pollination is about 235 to 500 billion USD. So it's unfortunately sometimes we cannot see this as honey. So that is how important is pollination services to us provided by the bee. This is my one of my study when in Mardi last time. This is several what you call important fruit tree species in Malaysia, and then this is in terms of the production, and then this is what you call the value of the pollination services. So it's quite huge. So unfortunately, how important is the bees to us? But the trend is not as nicely as it should be. This is from the IUCN data. Is what you call is this is mainly from Europe, because this is based on the what you call this is based on the literature data. So you can see there is a bee. There are bee and butterflies. What you call this in the red list species. In other words, the potential for the extinction. So there is I think it should be wake up call to us, to do something to protect our pollinator. So as I say again, is many wild bees and butterfly have been declined. In fact, it's everywhere this is happening. And then the most important is decline in honeybee hive. Have been recorded in the Europe and in North America. And then I think in 2007, I think there is a colony collapse disorder, where this is the symptom where is suddenly the colony running out of workers, then the workers go out, and then that doesn't coming back to the nest or to the hive, which is normally if they were poisoned by insecticide or pesticide, normally you can see at the entrance of the hive, but this one is just suddenly the colony is running out of workers. In other words, its workers is not coming back, and then there's no food for the queen, no food for the brood. Then sooner or later the colony will be collapsed. So this is there is so many theory have proposed. Is for example is like in US, people say that is to the bee was pushed to the limit because of the pollination service. For example, is bees has been transported from the Florida to the California for the pollination services. And then also is I'm going to say later, I'm going to explain later how is the land use pattern that also is fact. And then the noise fact that has been one of the reason the bee cannot return to the hive is due to too much what you call this telecommunication, what you call this telephone wave. That is every proposal. But of course, the other thing is pesticide usage, and then also is the colony become weak, and then it's easily attacked by the disease and other things. So the decline in the hive, the honeybee hive, and also is showing also is the pollination dependent crop have experienced lower growth on lower stability of yield. So in other words, it's become the yield become not stable. So to summarize, the tricks is to the bees is land use change. If previously is for example, I mean the natural forest area has been cut, and then also it's converted to agriculture, and then agriculture is converted to the township, and then sometimes this is cost huge distance for the bees to travel. For example, is a bee is understand that is is about 7 kilometers. They can fly. And then for the stingless bees, about 1 kilometer. Intensive agriculture management and pesticide usage is another part, because this the using of pesticide and then the monocropping. So this doesn't help the bee. And then environmental pollution, as I said just now, this is environmental in terms of from the industrial or from the telecommunication or from the our transportation, for example, aeroplane. I will show later. And then invasive alien species. This is the introduction of new species that sometimes can affect the existence of the bee, and then pathogen is another one. And then it's climate change. The change in the temperature that is, of course, will affect the bee. Not only affect us, but the bee also will be affected by the climate change. And then this, I want to show you, I want to share about the land use change. This is our KL International Airport. See, this is huge. Used to be the kind of secondary forest, it's converted to the airport. And now the airports are experiencing the, what we call the bee coming to nest at the airport building. Either KL, most is detected at the KLIA2. So this is we are going to work together with the Malaysia airports about how to design, or maybe we have to create or to give the conserved area in the airport, so that they can what we call this kind of transit area, R&R area for the bees. So that is what we can do in terms of land use pattern. And then this is what we call is for the global call. This is, for example, there is a Convention of Biological Diversity. There is a Pollinator initiative, which is I am one of the negotiation for the Malaysia. And then is how to develop the sustainable agriculture, so that it will not affect the bees. For example, is the term used ecological engineering, where you plant the flower or provide the beneficial insect or beneficial organism inside the rice field, like barn owl, and the beneficial insect like the flowering plant that can attract the beneficial insect that help to reduce the pest and disease. And of course, is the CBD insect is not tackle enough the issue, and now we have the IP-based in intergovernmental platform for biodiversity and ecosystem services now, which is come out the global assessment on the pollinator for food and production, which is I also is part of the negotiation team. So this is one of the picture, is one of the intended complaints. So in Malaysia, the response is as I said already, is we continue to study the pollinator diversity, and of course Tragona is the product of that study. And for the Tragona is we are happily, because there is declared by the Malaysian government, there is Malaysian superfood, and of course we continue to do the public awareness. And as tonight is for me, I hope that is one of my mission is for those who already know, it's okay, but for those know, I hope that can create the awareness how important is bees to life, to our life, not only to providing the honeys, but conservation or pollination, conservation of the nature, and the pollination of our food crops. And there is the last is which is I'm part of that is Malaysian My Bee Savior which is Persatuan Penyelamat Lebah Malaysia. So, which is at the moment I am the chairman. Then this is actually is a new NGO just approved for registration. I don't know. Actually, this is the video, but if you cannot hear the music, I just said this is to explain in 2009 where is our coconut is not producing, and then one of the reasons is because we are running out of bee. You see the bees. This is show how important is a bee. This is the SATA, the SATA, or lebah kualang. This is the problem in 2007 is the disease is caused we running out of bee. Actually, this video is for the MB what you call this My Bee Savior Association pelancaran or is inaugural. Of course, it's the main task is to increase the awareness. Although it's also there is a team who interested in the increase the production of honey. And in fact, now we have a team all over in Malaysia. If you have problem with the bee, is what you call drop by to your house or your area, we have people that is can what you call save the bees. Please do not burn it. So I think I want to conclude my presentation. I think I have easily said that I think we all of us agree. I think nature must be safe or must be conserved to be used for us and also our future generation. And then bee is a bread and butter for the nature conservation. We need to keep bees. And bees are, however, bees are treated as a show, and this also is through our life. In fact, according to Einstein, people can live only 4 years without bees. If bees extinct now, 4 years later, we will be extinct also. And then I think there is look like there is a lot of truth on that. And bees must be safeguarded too. And Malaysia Bee Savior Association is helping hand on that issue. So with that, I think, thank you. And back to you, Mr. Shati. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much for the wonderful sharing session. And it's quite interesting to know about bees, especially these stingless bees and their importance to mankind. Well, now let us move on to the Q&A session. So basically on our live, we have 9 questions right now. Are you ready for the questions, Doctor?
Yeah. I will.
Okay.
I will answer if I have.
Sure. All right.
If I can, I'll answer.
Sure, we'll do that. All right. So the first question sounds, can bees survive in urban areas, or how can we make it possible for them to survive in urban areas?
Yeah, the thing is how to avoid echo voices. Hello? Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect, perfect.
Okay. Yes, bee can survive in the urban area. I think is especially the stingless bee. In fact, is in front of my house. There is a playground area, and then I able to keep 10 colonies there. So I just want to how we can harmonize it. And then this playground is used by the children, and then there's surrounding that is my stingless bees. Because it's for the stingless bees, they don't need the sophisticated fruit trees or whatever. This just like what you call this the any plants, even weeds in your area produce flower is can be used by the stingless bees. So the only thing is, as I said, when you make a residential area in urban area, you have to consider this green part. This green part is only not good for us to provide oxygen, but it's good for the bees. So this is important how design. How the I think it's the work of. I hope the Dr. Since he's the young Dr. Amri and gang can come to this how to design this living area where you can live harmony with not only bee but the other good organism. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, doctor. That's a clear one. Right. Second question sounds: in your opinion, how long can the bees survive? How long can the bees survive, in your opinion?
Is this survives individually or colony or in terms of survive? The bees itself is for the individual because I say is the bee is actually is the whole colony is actually one bee, yeah? Or one, I mean, one consider because but for the individual I think is very short. They just insect. I think the short depend on the species. But I think is normally insect live about 30 days or something like that in egg stage and in the larva stage and in the adult stage and then they go. But for example in the case of stingless bees, like the drone one is the male. I think they just come out from the what you call this from the nest, just hatch and then go outside, then never coming. So this what you call this, the lifespan is very short for the male, for the drone of the stingless. But if you're talking about because when I see the bees, I see the whole colony is actually one. They can survive. I don't say forever, but at the backs of my at the back of my what you call this kitchen. There is one colony. I keep it for I think it's almost 7 years. I think 7 years is still there. So because whatever there is when the most important is queen. When queen is there, it will be there. And then they know the queen is will be replaced. I mean, when the become, I mean, how do you say, it's old or it's not productive enough, then the new queen will be coming. And then the new queen will come from the workers. Because the workers is also a female bee. So then it continues just like that. And then at the same time, for example, this is the months I think is for the stingless bees. I noticed that this the months between the March to May, they begin to split, produce another colony. So in other words, in terms of colony survival, it will be there unless, like for bees, when they stop for a moment in the resident area, and then people burn it. That is our the MPS try to help is actually to relocate these unlucky bees to the area, and we're looking now to look for the sanctuary area where we can place them. Okay.
All right, that's quite interesting to know. That's quite interesting to know that, you see, even in fact, I thought only family there is a queen control. In fact, in this thing, what you call beehive, there is also.
Yes. I don't want to say
All
that.
right. All right, all right, so okay, doctor. Coming back to this question, maybe in terms of let's say if everything is good with the fine with the queen and so on. In case in terms of this what you call drone, if there is some problem with the drones and stuff, will the whole hive be gone away, or they will still survive without the drones?
No, they need the drone. They will produce the drone. Because that's why I say this is very, what you call, I can say the layman is very clever organism, you know, because they know when time to produce workers, which is in normally when like for a flowering season, the fruit season, durian, rambutan, longan, all those things is become flowering, and they in advance produce the workers. So by the time the flower is mature, and the workers is there, and then when the workers are there, so when the queen is not producing, it's not productivity anymore, they start produce a new queen. The same thing also. When the season right now, I think they have to need to produce or to become what you call to produce another colony. It become the drone is there. The drone actually is the male is actually where is the egg is fertilized, whereas the female is unfertilized. Egg, so become female. So that's in other words, they need each other. They need no, I mean, there is no such thing. Although it's drone is thrown out from the nest, there is no such thing. Is drone is not important. Drone is important for the colony survival. Okay.
Okay, so basically they work together in this building up this hive and this viability, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. Now, moving on to the next question. Can stingless bees survive in other climates outside of Malaysia?
The stingless bee is normally is found in the tropical or subtropical region. So we are lucky. We in that region we have plenty of this stingless bee species. We also like, but in Australia, northern part of Australia, there is plenty of the stingless bees. What I call this colony also. So they, in other words, in Brazil, in Mexico, all this what I call this tropical and subtropical area. So you can find it, but you cannot find it in the temperate region.
Oh, I see. All right. Okay. Okay, we have another question here from Mr. Zubayr. How efficient is the artificial pollinator as compared to bees, Doctor?
I assume that is artificial pollinator is man. I mean, the pollination carried out by man. This is in a study, in a report or in the journal, stated that the fruits is produced by the insects or by the in this case by bee. Then from the is more what you call is more tasty rather compared to the one that is carried out by man. So in other words, because the reason explained about that is because actually is when the flower opened, there is actually the time that is need to be you need the exact time to place the what you call this the female flower. So there is, we don't know that one. We just know whether it's flower. Then we say that, for example, this crop is normally its opening is the stigma open is or receptive is around 9 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock we do the what call artificial. What call is we help to pollinate crop by we call distribute the pollen, all those things. But the insect know what is the exact time. In fact, this flower, which one is to be pollinated first. So I think that is the reason explain why is the one that is pollinated by the insects is tastes better than the one that is carried out by us. There is another report that I read. Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's quite interesting to know that. Okay, doctor. So, Mr. Muhammad Sophie, he shared a question where sometimes I see few bees at night attracted to fluorescent lamp, and later found dead the next morning. Is this a normal behavior? That's from Mr.
Yes.
Sophie.
Yes. That is normal because it's actually because it's I think it's the lamp is become hot. And then I also found that is the case. Hot, and then there is automatically there is change. What you call its behavior. Either you cannot find the home, or you stay there and then cannot find the nest, then it die out. Even the temperature of the lamp also I think is play impact part. Just like the one that I saw in my house. Sometimes I forgot to switch off the light at the back of my house, and then during the midnight it's okay, but during the dawn time they start to come out, and then they start to what you call this swarming the light. If you forget to switch, and then this some of them is dying out. But that's okay. I mean, they know they will produce the new one. So that's very common. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Doctor. Hope that answers your question, Mr. Sophie. And next question comes from Mr. Mushtaba. Is it true that there are claims that stingless bee honey can cure COVID-19? Oh, that's a very good question and a hot topic right now, I guess.
I wish I stay MRD. I still working, because I thought I think this is very important. I think to cure the COVID-19, I'm not sure. But one thing for sure is can increase your immune system. That is established already. They can increase your immune system. Then I think that is what we need. When increase our immune system, then that is our life actually. So I think that is only that I can answer. To cure is I don't know. I hope I hope that is people can work out on it. But for that is definitely increase the immune system of your body. When just for additional information, when I was traveling abroad during my work at time MRD, when I travel, especially during the winter time to the cold country, I always bring this the honey, especially the stingless, and then alhamdulillah, there is normally is don't have to catch the flu, which is the other people can easily get. So that is a symptom of how that can increase your immune system.
Can we say that this stingless bee honey is quite a little bit more beneficial as compared to normal honey, or is it somehow the same?
For me, I think all the honey is there is what you call this. There is a lot of inside the honey that we don't know yet. The only people study now is antioxidant, which is important to our body, our system. And so happen that when you compare the antioxidant, there is about 5 times higher in the stingless bee compared to the honeybee, normal honeybee. So I don't know the other component parts. I'm sure there is a lot of other things that if you don't know, which is a benefit to us.
I see that's a very good information. In fact, we at KDOJ, we have tried with the support from our principal. We have tried before this honey. It's quite sour as compared to the normal honey when you feel it around the throat here and you try. Yeah.
Yes. Because one is other thing is depend on the nectar of the flower, what kind. So, for example, during the rambutan time, it's always sweet. The taste is slightly sweet, and the color also is better. And the sour part is because of the antioxidant, which is, I think, it in form of acid. I forgot what's the name, the acid, which is that is very good for our body. So that's why I think that is a little bit sour, the sour part. And the other thing also is because the stingless, the honey from the stingless is what you call is have a higher water content. It's almost 30%, which is compared to the honeybees, the honey from the honeybee. And I think it's Dr. Amri showed us now is they're going to develop the system that you can remove the water from the honey. So if you can keep the water is from you can remove the water from the honey such as to the 20% or below, then is the taste is will be you can preserve better, no fermentation, then no sour part.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Doctor. Now we have a question from Mr. Christopher Hassim. I would like to ask you whether how to differentiate stingless bee as compared to the non-stingless one.
That is easy. You disturb them. If it is sting, then it's sting bee. If you not, that is stingless. But that is my what you call it, lateral. But actually, the stingless bee is small, relatively small, whereas the bees the sting one is bigger. That is the size. And then the one that is the stingless bee tend to have more at one flower, whereas the bees is because it's bigger, it tend to have like for example Apis dorsata, you have only one at one flower. So that is you can differentiate between the stingless bee and sting. But because we mentioned about sting, I just want that is come across to me to show that actually the sting of the bees is also kind of what we call this, how to say this, kind of medication. You know? I mean, it can cure some of the disease. For example, is arthritis. This is what called non-transmitted disease, because it is in fact there is a term that used now is Apis therapy. When people purposely ask bees to sting part of the body, and then this can reduce your pain. Especially me, I go through experience of this because I have arthritis, and then we used to use bee to sting on me. And then also there is you can Google Apis therapy, how it can cure some of the or can reduce the pain of some kind of disease or whatever. So and then I want just to share. Bees is the difference between bee and hornet. Hornet can sting you several times for one hornet, but bees only one bee, only one sting. When it sting, then it die, because it's the sting is what you call is left in your body, and then it will die. Yeah.
Oh, which means that's just once. Once
just
it's
bees,
stingless,
just
then
one.
that's
Just one.
Oh,
Just one.
okay,
Just
okay.
one.
That's
But
quite,
the hornet
okay.
is several times.
Okay. Right, that's quite interesting. All right. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. Who is actually responsible to bring up the reputation of stingless bee industry in Malaysia?
Can you rephrase it again?
Yeah, who is actually, maybe if there is any special body or any organization who is actually in charge to bring up the reputation of stingless bee in Malaysia? Is there any special body that when
there is no, I mean, such as a special body, but I think of course is it because this is what we call, it depend on the kind of, I think that depend on the which ministry. Well, for example, in terms of production, I think it's Ministry of Agriculture. But in terms of the utilization part, I mean, like the test for the kind of disease, whatever, I think that is under Kementerian Kesihatan, I think in Malaysia under Kementerian Kesihatan. And of course, it's the people who is responsible for the food and drug thing is important to be. But like I think for the other part, I think is everybody's doing a bit, what you call it, a bit, and I'm glad to hear that is everybody is taking now, and I hope that is we can have later on we can come out a complete package that is benefit to the not only to the us but only maybe the other people in the other world, other part of the world, because we have plenty of stingless bee to be real.
Right. Yeah. Talking about the other part of the world, Dr. Diaudin has raised the question on how is the acceptance of stingless bee honey in the West like in the Europe? How is the acceptance?
Just like the other honey, the but because of this stingless bee actually exists for so long already, they are more people thinking of this how do you say this traditional knowledge. They come with they respect they value the stingless bee because there is in terms of the history historically I think before AD or whatever, there is people exist together depend on the stingless bees for this medication, all those things. So in terms of Western people, I mean, I'm talking Western is in terms of the among the scientists, they value this is more need to learn in terms of the traditional value. But for the other thing, and the other people just like the honey, this the honey production, the honey they look the honey as to be consumed. But majority now is more people appreciate for the pollinator. So as long as pollinator, they will try to save it. In fact, for example, in US, they have the legislative act to protect the pollinator. And in Europe, they have this scheme where the land is purposely left. So that is not only for the bees, but for the other beneficial insect to live.
I see, I see. Okay, that's great. How about in Malaysia? Do we have any regulations, rules, and imposed by the government?
As I said, is a piece here and there. For example, if you're talking about the honey as medication, then you have to go to Kementerian Kesihatan under the Food and Drug. And then for the what you call this production, Ministry of Agriculture. And then on the other parts, because of to start or to get the colony of stingless bee, some people go and cut the trees where is the honey the stingless bee nesting, and this is under the forestry department, which is some of the tree cannot be just cut like that. So that is forestry department job is to control people from the cut the tree. But for me, when it's I like to utilize in terms of how to split colony and how to extract is from the trees. Rather than cut the trees. But unfortunately, I think it's because some need the fastest way is to cut the trees and what you call this bring the colony to be reared at the house or in the area of rearing. So again, that is depend on the awareness. So I think we hope that one day, I think the work of I think is Dr. Amri. I think is I hope is going to looking for that. Oh, that is definitely I think.
God willing, God willing. And nowadays we can see that lots of people are what do you call improving, and they are giving importance to all these, nature kind of stuff. Right, Doctor. What is the difference of honey generated from normal bee and the stingless bee in terms of its benefit?
What is the benefit between the honey from bee and the honey from stingless?
Yeah,
The
benefits of differences.
as I say, in terms of antioxidant, is higher in the stingless honey, but in terms of amount of volume to get is you get more from the honeybee. In terms of the quality, as I said, if you look for the antioxidant, of course, is stingless bee is the better one. But as I said, there's a lot of inside the honey, like for the mineral part that we still do not, we cannot. I mean, we need to venture or to research on that. So, but the most important, they are benefit to us. I think that is the bottom line.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have one more here. If there is bee in my house, how can I get rid of them without killing them? From Mr. Hassan.
Is from is any Mr. Hassan. From I mean which part? Don't know. It's okay because you go to my bee savior association on Facebook. Then there is a number there that you can call, and then we can send the message where is it. So normally we send the team that is that go to save the colony or take the bees, bring it to somewhere else. So that is one of our tasks to make people don't scare too much to the bees. We will save, and then we help to relocate the bees. And then at the same time now we have worked together with the bomber, with the J-Palm, with the DBKL, where is because we know that all in this department they have the unit that to look for the pest and disease control. So now we normally if they got a call, they call us, then we go. We pass message the nearby member or people who like to save this and then take the bees away. So that's how we pass information. There's a lot of colony has been saved, but has been saved from bee burn.
All right. So is the My Bee Savior team is living around Malaysia? It can be found anywhere around the state or how?
Anywhere, even in Sabah and Sarawak, yeah. Anywhere. Okay. It's although it's because now we have the membership, although it's not as many as, but the most of them are the active one, the one who, at the moment. So like in the Klang Valley, we have few people. This is I mean normally 2 or 3 days, depend where you are. When you call, then the team will be there.
Okay, that's great. That's a good one. In fact, with the support of our principal, we are trying to form an association also in for ETMJB. God willing, I think we will work it out on that. And moving on to the final question from Dr. Dia. How much capital is needed or required to build one bee cell?
One bee hive.
Maybe a hive, yeah.
Yeah, this is honey bee, or of course it's a honey bee, or what you call is the stingless bee.
Again, let's go for stingless bee.
If the stingless bee, I think it's depend. Now the log has been sold, I think in the market, I think around maybe around less than 500. I think 500 ringgit. You can have one log is ready. The colony is there just to put where you want to put it, and then if the right time now, if for example now is the flower time in my area, and also I think it's in majority of the area. Is so this is the time is where you have the honey. So maybe just cost, I think maybe I put this around 500 ringgit per colony. But at the same time, like at this particular month in northern part, it's very critical for the stingless, because it's too hot. Then the nest is become what you call this liquidate. Then the nest is collapsed, so all the broods gone. So it's if you the hot season, you have to careful to put it under shade, not direct sunlight. But for the for the honeybee, depend what we have Apis cerana, which is the one that can be reared. This is our this is our local species. I think it's not so expensive. But the one that produce a lot of honey but very susceptible to disease is Apis mellifera. This is imported one. This is very expensive. Can go to the thousands. In fact, the queen itself is very expensive. And of course, it's for the Apis for the lebah tualang or Apis dorsata. You cannot rear it. You just have to get from the wild. Okay.
All right, that's a very good one, Doctor. Thank you so much for your wonderful time. In fact, we learned a lot from this session. Now, I would like to hand this over to the principal, perhaps for concluding remarks. Yeah, Dr. Amri, please take over.
Thank you, Mr. Satish. Actually, for me, to me, thank you is not enough to express the gratitude to Dr. Norawi for giving the talk today, and you are the first speaker or guest that accepted our invitation today or this year. Okay, due to the COVID, we could not meet face to face. But inshallah, when everything is over, probably we can start do more activities in physical, where we, especially like what you have talked or explained in your presentation. There are a lot of opportunity where we as a students or researcher in university can help in preservation of bees. So what I truly understand from your presentation that nature has many components and conservation is very important, and we are also the main component of the nature, and we actually can learn a lot from the bees, where they are a good role model, like they are very organized. Okay, even in any society in the world or in our surrounding or in our human life, organization is very important. Okay, and also another thing for what you can learn from bees, they are hardworking and very loyal. Okay, until the end or until they die. And I think I also agree. Okay, many things. Okay, to the things all what the Norway say is conservation of bees are very important, especially like what we are doing here. So like actually when I interested in Stingless Bee, and I admit, okay, I acquired Stingless Bee directly from the tree itself, but I make sure like myself, we put the hive, okay, one at every 6 months in starting to 2016, and every time I got the hive, I always plant a few other trees to as like a compensation lah. And also it is my dream to convert the KDOJ as a breeding ground for Stingless Bee, and that's what we are doing. Now so far we have 3, like what Dr. Norowi what are trying a few methods like propagation. Okay, I think 1 or 2 hive that I successfully splitted. And also I want to add that they are actually friendly or non-invasive way to acquire stingless or to get the hive, which by using a bait box or bait bottles. So that is also the opportunity that we can offer to the people who interested to know about how to rear or to keep stingless bee. We can teach. Okay, inshallah, in other future activities. So I think again I would like to say thank you very much to Dr. Norowi, and I think let this become a starting point for our collaboration and cooperation. I hope that you can see that we are very serious and we are very energetic, and we like to make initiative to make the cooperation possible, especially in the future. We don't like to see our intention to die off, like just die off tonight. So I hope that we can work more together. So give it to maybe Dr. Norowi have some closing remark, and also Satish can close the program tonight. Thank you.
I just want to say I'm glad that to be part of the event tonight, and as you said, I hope that is my hope. That is my hope for on behalf of the MBS. That is the starting point to work together. I think it's for the better future. I think for our future generation. I think especially our grandchildren. Talking about this. Because if we don't start it now and then it thing go haywire in the future, we will be cursed by our own grandchildren. So that's bear in mind in that. So I think that in order to develop the best future, I think we have to work together. We cannot work alone. So that's why when I was asked to involve in this tonight event, I'm gladly open. This is thanks God actually. So with that, I think thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And hopefully that for those who want to know more about this, can contact Dr. Amri or can contact me. And then it's better. For sure, it's better if you can join the MBS also. Thank you. And back to you, Sati.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much for your time, for your effort, and for everything that you have done and shared with us today. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here now to call the day off. And once again, on behalf of the organizing committee, I'd like to personally thank Dr. Norowi for your time, and each and every one of you who have participated in this event for your presence and attention. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Satish Kumar. Thank you and have a very good night. Take care.
You too.
Okay, dah end.
Okay, dah habis lah live.
Okay, dah habis live lah. Okay.
Dah habis lah live, dah lega lah.
Okay.
So, Dr. Norowi buat apa selalu besok?
Saya sekarang ni orang pension, buat apa? Sekarang saya do main exercise lah, main golf sikit.
Mardi tak selalu panggil?
Panggil kadang-kadang jadi adalah expert panel untuk dia punya research apa. Tapi sekarang ni kan semua tak boleh nak bergerak apa semua. So macam ni lah. Tapi kalau kadang-kadang kalau macam nak buat projek apa ni monitoring tu macam ni susah. Kadang-kadang kita kan tak difficult kan. So banyak dia orang pun buat dalaman dia lah. So
macam saya cakap tadi, sebenarnya macam emas saya buat tu kan Dr. Norowi. Dia belum ada yang betul-betul serious take that teknologi. Dulu ada apa, kalau saya Dr. Norowi kenal kot, apa nama Sazali, apa Trigonagol. Sekarang dekat apa MS Valley kan.
Saya tahu nama lah, tapi saya
Ya.
tak ingat.
Tapi cooperation tak jadi. Tapi kalau saya lebih suka kalau macam even Mardi kalau nak minta tolong pakai our teknologi untuk monitor hive. Kalau you kan saya tahu macam Fahmi, saya kenal, bukanlah kenal direct Fahmi. Saya kenal daripada si Pakar Melaka tu. Melaka Negeri Sembilan.
Dia Fahmi dia
Fahmi.
dia dulu kira dia tu my mentee lah.
Ya, kalau dia buat hive tu, kalau contoh dia nak perlu bantuan kita ada teknologi nak tengok dia punya berat dia bagus ke kan, makin bertambah dia punya panas macam mana, kita boleh tolong je, tak ada
saya dekat Mardi pun apa ni, saya ada panggil yang engineer lah, yang macam yang apa ni, yang engineer tu. Tapi dia nak buat, tapi kadang-kadang bila kita nak minta fund, dia orang tak faham tu. Dia orang tak faham, tak boleh nak express. Saya pun how important is to study the inside, what is happening inside the nest. Is it the temperature change during the day? I mean, and then, kalau macam tu kan, sekarang kita dengar ya, kalau itu pun tak boleh nak buat. Bila saya tengok work Dr. Amri, baguslah dia ada side of the ni.
It's already ready, Dr. Norobi. Kalau Mardi apa sanggup nak bekerja sama, saya on je, tak ada masalah. Saya okey saja. Mungkin tak belum sampai pada orang yang tepat. Mungkin seorang semua rasa saya ni macam nak simpan teknologi untuk diri. Tak ada. Saya memang suka kalau orang pakai. Saya suka. Tak ada masalah.
Dia kat Madi pula sekarang. Dia ni takes time untuk people to understand. And dia look is Stingless Bee tu untuk honey je. Jadi sekarang kita dapat honey, boleh harvest honey, cukuplah. Saya kata no, honey is another part. Is how to conserve them, we have to understand them. Situ saya need the nest structure apa semua. Dan kalau boleh kita boleh record supaya dia kan sekarang nak harvest susah. Tapi can through properly monitor studying, can we design the nest that so that dia boleh buat pot tu senang kita nak ni.
Kalau macam dengan teknologi saya, kalau dia nak kaji mana hive yang paling cantik ataupun macam brood cell mana yang paling berkembang paling banyak, boleh je pakai sistem saya. Cuma
Dr. Amri dapat ni kat mana dulu ni? Macam mana boleh ni? Boleh.
Mana minat. Minat. Saya sebenarnya dekat UTM ni dia ada seorang lecturer ni, dia dulu fakulti matematik. Okey, sebenarnya dia ni bapa saudara kepada Sazali. Tapi yang saya dengar sebenarnya dialah yang dulu start kelulut. Kemudian dia perkenal Sazali, tapi Sazali ni saya tengok Sazali ni lebih kepada profit. Orang lebih kejar profit. Nak bekerja sama dengan orang profit ni dia susah sikit.
Saya faham sangat tu. Sebab tu apa nama ni, bila kita dah dapat dulu, mula ni saya work together with the USM on the test part on the important honey kan. Untuk bagi pada pesakit-pesakit, ada Prof Amirah masa tu. Lepas tu dari segi quality tu masa tu kita ada tim Dr. Suryawi kan. So that's why kita cepat apa nama ni. Tapi saya masih berpendapat don't go for honey, we go for the premium product, and then kind of tu. Tapi dia ni dah masuk politik, dia nak declare cepat nak Malaysia. So bila dia macam tu, jadi semua orang sekarang go for the honey. Bila dah declare for the honey, apa ni pokok ditebang, orang komplain kat saya macam mana ni. So you promote another biodiversity, you reduce another biodiversity kan.
Sebab saya perasan kalau orang cakap pasal kelulut ni, mula-mula yang keluar je untung ribu-ribu.
Ya.
Macam saya kata, come on lah, takkanlah buat benda walaupun dia taklah sesusah jaga lembu, jaga kambing, tapi takkanlah tak ada cabarannya. Yalah.
Itulah bila kita dulu ada develop apa nama ni satu, bila develop usahawan kan.
Ya.
First success. Bila dia sukses, dia dapat banyak duit, then dia venture tidak ada pak. So dia dah lupa dah ni. Kadang-kadang tu satu cerita lagi. So banyak yang kita dah develop usahawan-usahawan, dia pergi 2 season, 3 season. Pergi tengok dah tak ada dah. Dia dah kaya, yalah dia bukan kaya, dia ada duit, dia buat yang lain dah.
Ya, ya.
Pasal dulu masa lepas kita declare dulu, Kementerian Pembangunan Luar Bandar banyak bagi duit.
Ya, ya, betul.
Beside the Kementerian Pertanian apa semua.
Ya.
So sekarang saya punya technician tu, dia sekarang pun dia buat apa nama juga lah. Haji Hamdan kan, you kenal kot. Dragon Nabi kan. Pernah dengar lah kot. Dragon Nabi.
Ya.
Dia buat. Saya kalau
dia kecil-kecil kecil-kecil kan.
Haji.
Saya dah jumpa dah tu.
Yalah dia in fact saya pun more on the ground part, saya belajar daripada dia lah. Pasal dia tu dengan lebuh pun dia tak pakai ni. Dia tak pakai cover ni. So kau ajarlah aku ilmu apa ni kan. Tapi apa nama ni, saya kalau sekarang orang ada call saya nak madu, saya tak pergi kat lain tu. Saya tak berani tu. Saya pergi ambil kat dia je. Pasal kat dia tu saya yakin lah. Mana madu tiruan. You just imagine 80% is tiruan.
Baru keluar kan kat Metro. Semalam ke 2-3 hari.
Saya letak kat Facebook.
Ya, betul.
So pasal bila orang nak cepat kaya, banyak dia buat short apa ni? Short corner.
Ya, betul.
Tapi itulah nak macam mana kan kita.
Itulah kita punya peranan So nanti Dr. Norowi, saya rasa the next step kalau kita boleh organize meeting. Antara MBS dengan MBSU.
Itulah.
Kita sekarang ni tengah buat dia punya draft catatan, kita nak majukan ke office atas.
Yes.
Jadi akan semak insya-Allah. Saya cakap dengan Dr. Tan.
Yes.
Komiti kita RCC, kita setujulah kita bayar yuran. Tapi pelajar ni nak kena bincang sikit. Kalau kita open untuk pelajar lain, macam mana yuran tu? Walaupun contohlah RM30 setahun kan, tapi ni kalau berkira. Salahkan dia lah. Mungkin ada mekanisme yang kita boleh bincangkan.
Saya rasa in fact kita dah start initiate the discussion dah benda ni. Apa nama ni. So ya pasal ni pun baru sejak in fact meeting tak pernah meeting face to face kan.
Ya.
Apa ni, mesyuarat agung pun melalui ni juga, melalui
online.
Baru lagi kan online. So meeting pun sekarang online. So yalah walaupun kita boleh communicate tapi the chemistry is not there lah. Susah juga lah. Tapi I like about the MBS is many yang luar daripada biology tau. Engineer, accountant yang buat kerja.
Kita perlukan semua pihak sebab kadang-kadang ada orang dia nampak selain daripada sains tapi memang sangat penting. Ada orang boleh nampak daripada segi management macam Dr. Norowi cakap lah. Itu kita perlu banyak background on this matter. Okay, so atas saya tak naklah drag sangat. Bukan apa je, kita pun tak boleh nak belanja. Sorry lah. Tapi saya janjilah nanti biasa kita datang sini kan.
InsyaAllah.
Kita pergi minum-minum.
Syati, food panda ada.
Boleh. Dapat order lah. Tentu kalau boleh. Bagi je receipt kat saya.
Ada juga.
Tak apa. Nanti Dr. Norowi kita sebenarnya ada niat nak bagi token lah.
Tak apa.
Kita bagi token insya-Allah. Tapi saya tadi pergi kedai cenderamata UTM, ya Allah dah tutup. Tak apa lagi, nanti saya usahakan yang lain.
Itu second part.
Yalah.
Sekarang agak-agak the message sampai, then most of us is win-win kan. Tu je.
Ya, nanti kalau macam ada aktiviti yang macam kita macam pelajar ni, kan, diorang ni suka je buat kerja community kan, buat gotong royong anak angkat ke apa. Kalau nak panggil kita orang, jom kita jalan je, kita ikut je. Lagi kita orang suka. Kan. Hari tu plan nak pergi tempat orang asli dekat Tanah Abang. Tapi dah COVID, hold dululah. Okey. Jadi terima kasih ya Dr. Noor. Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Thank you for having us.
Okey dah. Saya pun sama-sama lah. Terima kasih. Lebih kurang.
Okey, terima kasih banyak.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okey, thank you guys semua. Okey guys, terima kasih banyak-banyak. I think thank you lah, hari ni macam best. Kita banyak exchange, handle orang yang isi orang pun 187, macam mana nak handle ni? 187 tak kisahlah dia tengok ke tak, tapi dia isi form 187. At least kita ada macam apa, boleh bagi apa, kita ada news ke apa kan. Dia kata okey kita ada talk ke apa kan. Dia datang mesti dia suka punya. Apa main face to face kan especially. So kita at least kita ada boleh buat nanti broadcast group ke dengan dia orang ni lah. Alright, nanti saya share. Okay, so the meantime bolehlah apa think is okay, tak ada apa-apa. Nanti kita discuss lah. Thank you very much Okay, terima kasih. Okay.
Doktor nanti tolong share ni kepada Zubir so dia boleh uruskan yang insert tu.
Okay. Terima kasih.
Okay.